In the early 19th century, demolishing Notre-Dame was seriously discussed. What saved it was not a king, and not an architect. It was a book. Building had begun in 1163. It would take almost 200 years. The cathedral invented, or perfected, what would define Gothic: higher vaults, walls opened up by vast windows, and above all flying buttresses that take the thrust outside the building. That is what lets you cut holes in a wall without the whole thing collapsing. The light gets in because the structure was moved outdoors. On the square in front, a bronze marker sets the 0 point of French roads. Every road distance in the country is measured from that slab. Notre-Dame is not merely at the center of Paris. It is the origin of the map. Something is missing from the front, too, and almost nobody notices. The two towers were meant to carry spires. They were never built. That famous square silhouette is an unfinished building site. Then centuries passed, and maintenance did not keep up. The revolution went after the statues. The 28 kings across the front were beheaded, taken for kings of France when they in fact represented the kings of Judah. For a time the building served as a warehouse. By around 1830 it was in a miserable state. In 1831, Victor Hugo published his novel about the cathedral. It was an enormous success, and it did something unexpected: it made the building popular. Opinion turned. A public subscription was raised. The restoration went to Viollet-le-Duc. It took 20 years, and it is still argued over. Because he did not merely repair. He completed, corrected, invented. The spire was not medieval, it was his. Nor were the chimeras staring out over Paris from the towers, they are 19th century. His doctrine was openly stated: to restore a building, he wrote, is to reinstate it in a complete state which may never have existed at any given moment. On the 15th of April, 2019, fire took the roof timbers and the spire. The stone structure held. The flying buttresses did their job one last time. So what burned that night was not the Middle Ages. It was the 19th century, the work of a man who had already saved the building once.